Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you guys here for our family history education event. We've got Alicia and we've got Larry Poole with us. He has been doing family history for, you can't hear. I cannot hear Alicia and I cannot hear Larry. Can anybody else hear me? It says my speaker is on. Oh, I hate technology sometimes, guys. So can you guys hear me? Okay, Elaine can hear. Alicia, can you try talking? Can you guys hear Alicia or Larry? They hear you guys either. Just me. And I'm not the one presenting. Well, working for us when we hi. Okay, it looks like they're going to sign out and sign back in.
Okay, how's this? Can we hear each other now? I refreshed it.
All right, Larry, would you talk?
All right, can everybody hear us now?
Do we talk?
Do what?
Larry needs to sign out and sign back in.
Larry, can you refresh your screen? All right, Larry, refresh your screen.
You might have to call him. We're working on it. We're going to help Mr. Larry here. Somehow something happened when we went live. So Larry, you need to X out of the screen for web completely and go back to the link Alicia sent you to come back into it.
All right, see if you can refresh and see if that fixes your issue. Because I can hear Shana now, but I can't hear you. Mm-hmm.
How about now?
Yay!
All right, can everyone hear us?
All three of us now?
Yeah. I can hear you.
I just want to make sure that our attendees can hear you as well.
Love the technology, but sometimes it doesn't want to work.
That's for sure. Right. Yes. Good job. Yay.
All right. Thank you for your patience.
All right. So it looks like most of you guys were here yesterday, so I don't think I need to reiterate the announcements other than the fact I forgot one. So we are doing a quarterly drawing at the end of this quarter for the referrals, and the prize is 2 lucky winners will get a delicious handmade dessert from Chef James. So our double ticket event and our triple ticket event will qualify you to get in that drawing, and that is the halftime report on September 1st at 11:45 and 5:45, and September 22nd at the Armory Ballroom, which Chef James is also going to cater. So we are so grateful to Mr. Larry Poole to being able to be with us today. He is a family history aficionado. He's been doing it for 15 plus years. And I'm going to turn the time over to him because I'm sure you guys came to see him and not me.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Just feel free to ask. And I will stop and answer the questions then. Okay, the first we want to start is online genealogy for beginners. And a lot of people, even though you're been online and doing genealogy, there's some things that we learn from other people. So the main gist of what we have is what Shirley Abbott, which she's a professional genealogist and well published, is we all grow up with the weight of history on us. Our ancestors dwell in the attics of our brains as they do in the spiraling chains of knowledge hidden in every cells of our bodies. We all know that we have genes that are passed down from our ancestors. And a lot of times the work of genealogy helps us to determine things that we have going on in our lives. The one thing that we have is that you need a big focus, but yet you need to have a small goal. You know, they say the way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So it applies also to genealogy. It often helps you to focus your research if you write it down. So the first thing you do is you set a listing of the goals that you have. One would be, I'd like to know what country my ancestors came to America. And as we look, even on the DNA testing they have today, I found out that most of mine came from England and from Scotland. So that will help you as far as where to do your research for those that you have questions about. I'd like to confirm suspected American Indian ancestry in my family. And we have that a lot of time. People would like to know where in this country that we developed our things that we do in life. And also, number 3 is to link to medical history in my family. So when we look back at what caused the death of those in our family, it gives us some idea of what we need to look for when we go to our medical history and what to look for as far as the problems that we may develop later on in our life. So the first thing you need to do is to begin with yourself. What you need to do is get a notebook, a shoebox, or anything that you can place each item in, and start collecting your birth certificate, photographs that you had as a child up to now, diplomas that you've earned, yearbooks, etc., anything that you feel is important in your life. Write down these memories and places you have visited or lived, or stories that you have related by your grandparents, and favorite places in town where you grow up. And then look for the same information about your family members. A lot of times we don't realize that 10 or 12 years down the road, we forget things that we've done or where we've lived. So this would be a great help to you as far as keeping track. And then you can link it with your ancestors to where they came from, and they can show how you're linked to them as far as part of your genealogy. So it's important to remember that the internet is not necessarily the best place to begin your family research. So who would be the first person you would want to interview to get information on your family history or your genealogy? Well, the person that you need to interview first would be the oldest living member that you have in your family, because they may not be around much longer, and the information that they give you would be really important for matching up to the internet information, so you can tell whether it's true or not. So find your oldest living member of your family and interview them. There's a listing on the internet that you can download and carry with you. It's called 10 Questions to Ask Your Family Member Before They Pass Away. Just do a Google search. It's on many sites, and you can print it out and use that when you go to interview them. And while you're interviewing them, collect any documents that they may have, birth or death certificates, Bible records is very important. And it's so easy now to take your cell phone out and just take a snapshot and keep it stored in your phone until you get to a computer if you're not nearby one. The same with the birth certificate, death certificates, and things like that. So you will not be able to do everything online. So don't depend strictly on the internet to do your genealogical research. So what can the web or the internet offer you? A lot of times there are indexes and some vital statistic records that are posted online from courthouses, churches, and you can access these and gain the information that you need. Classified directories and collections of web genealogical resources, personal family history pages posted by other researchers, genealogical discussion groups, city, county, state genealogical or historical society pages, individual library websites with information about locations, schedules, and holdings. Locally here in Dublin, they have a meeting once a month, the third Wednesday of each month, for genealogists that would meet at the library to discuss and go over information that they have. A lot of your websites have personal family history pages that are posted by other researchers. So when you do a search for your family name, then you can find those pages, and they'll be a big help to you because you can draw on the information that they have. But one of the most important thing is, don't take it for gospel. They may have the wrong information, and you will be receiving the wrong information and passing on wrong information. And that's why it's best to do research on your own and use the information you have to verify it so that you know it's true. So what the web cannot offer you, like I was saying, it's information about each of your family or ancestors If it has not been placed online, it won't be there. There are a lot of stories that the family members can pass on to you about events and things that happened in the family and in their lives that will never make it to the internet. But if you put it on your family history, our genealogy, then you will have what you need. Accuracy is very important. So if you find something, always look for documentation to support the information, especially if you're looking at a name, birthplace. So if you can find the birth certificate of one of your ancestors, then that will be a good verification of the information that you want. Original documents is the most important thing because even census record can be wrong. And you will find as you do genealogy, the census records were only as good as the person who took the information from your ancestors. So those original documents, birth certificates, etc., marriage license, they will be a good thing to verify the information that you find on the internet. So it's always important to remember, always read over the search tips or explore advanced search options. All of these web engines or companies that have web pages will send you tips. Some of them are called leaves, some are called tips. And what you need to do is to open those up and read them and verify them. And you can do the verification with those birth certificates, death certificates that you have. So you have to make sure they're accurate before you post them to your genealogical records. So perform the same search on a couple of different websites. Don't just use one site. If you are a member of Ancestry.com, don't just depend on their information. There are many that are free that you can take that same name and search for it there and then compare them to each other. And that way you'll know back with your original document which one is correct and the one you need to use on your genealogical page. So these tips can help you the time and aggravation of chasing the wrong or incomplete information. So something that you need to keep in mind during your research is that some family trees have beautiful leaves, some have a bunch of nuts. So remember, it's the nuts that make the tree worth shaking. The most interesting reading that you can have is a genealogical story about a person that you had in your ancestry that did crazy things and makes reading a lot more interesting. One of the most popular is Ancestry.com, and I'm sure there's a lot of you have signed up for it. But it is also has free access when you go to your public library. It has alphabetical card catalogs on all of its databases, and you can download and print family groups and tree chart. What I found is it helped me a lot in mine is I print out a family group record that I have, and I put them in a 3-ring binder, and I label that binder with that family group. And then any information I have, I can put it in that 3-ring binder and keep track of it that way. But there's charts that you can print out and take with you when you go and interview members of your family and put it in your folder. They have every census from 1870 to 1940, which you can do a search of. But like I said before, don't completely trust on that federal census, because there are a lot of errors, and that's where a family member comes in handy to verify the information that they have. They also have a surname distribution on Ancestry, and you can go to the Learning Center at the top of the page and you'll see family facts, and you can link to them and learn helpful information. So they're real important as far as helping you locate a member of your family. Another one is Heritage Quest. It's also available in the library, but unlike Ancestry, Heritage Quest can be accessed from your home. But you have to go to the library here at Dublin, it's every 3 months. They change the password, so they'll give you a new password, and that's the way you can access it from home. And it has basically the information that Ancestry has as far as the census, but it also has the PERSI, which is the Periodical Source Index, which is newspapers, books, and they have information where you can find if your family was mentioned in a book or newspaper and how to look it up. And it also offers the Revolutionary War and the Freedmen Bank database. Now, the Freedmen database is a listing of all the slaves that are freed after the war. They made a database of them. So if you're doing African American genealogy, the Freedmen Bank would be a good starting place for you to find someone that was freed after the war. One of the largest is the FamilySearch.org. It has records from around the world, and especially in the European area. And it's a nonprofit service sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There's no cost whatsoever, but you will need to register. And the reason for the registration is so that they can link your family to other families on the website. If you're not registered, if you just go there to search, they have no way of linking you with other members of your family. And you can also add your family to Family Tree to this website. RootsWeb is one of the oldest websites that has been around for generations, and it's very user-friendly. It offers you SSDI information, and SSDI is the Social Security Death Index. So it will give you Social Security number and information about those in your family that have passed away and were registered with the Social Security. And you can search family trees and even submit your own to RootsWeb so others can see what you have and use it to increase their website. There's a search board so that you can sign up, put on there what you're interested in finding, your family, family name or an area of the country that you're looking for, or cemetery, you put it on this message board, and those that are members will respond to you with an answer which will help you as far as finding where it's located. Another one is a volunteer-free site called usgenweb.com, and it has a lot of valuable information, but it offers things that Ancestry will not have, such as family photographs and headstone transcriptions. And there's a researchers page that offers a wealth of helpful info. So if you want to learn how to use it or to get better acquainted with genealogy, you can go there and take their lessons that they have on that page. CastleGarden.org. This is a listing of all those that came over to New York on ships from 1820 to 1913. It's a free access to a database of over 10 million immigrants. So we know all of our ancestors came to this country at one time or another from somewhere else. And if they came in through New York at that time, you'll be able to find them at castlegarden.org. EllisIsland.org is also a listing from 1892 to 1924. So it picked up a lot of the immigrants that came in from Poland and Italy and Eastern European countries. It does require registration, but searching is free. And like I say, if you go to these websites, it's always good to register. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps as far as associating your family with someone else that has a linkage to your family. So it's always good to go ahead and register, and that way they can link them together, and they'll send you a leaf or a hint so that you can go back and look and find parts of your family. So after you make these searches at Castle Garden as well, compare them to others like the one we talked about earlier, all these websites. Compare them and see if the information is the same or different. So if you want to find a specific type, or the best website is cindyslist.com. It has a catalog of all the resources that are in the internet. So if you want to find someone German, Italian, African, Indian, you can always find the website at Cindy's List. They're all posted there, and it shows you where you can go and point you in the right directions to find the topic that you need. And they have a lot of information divided into smaller, more specific categories for easier and more effective research. So congratulations to you for having the desire to find your ancestors and to be able to learn how it will help you in your life as far as the medical help, where you came from, sometimes as much as educational assistance from being of minority group. Any questions that you have?
Thank you, Mr. Poole. You have so much knowledge in that. I'm going to go ahead and shoot out a copy of the slides. right now if you guys want to download that. You should be able to click on the link. It's in the chat box to be able to have that. Any other questions?
Yeah, there's a lot of websites that didn't mention on Cindy's list. Oh, it's great. When you get there, you'll be amazed at how much research information is available there.
I imagine. Okay, Alicia has a list of names. Okay, Gary Maddox wants to know which website would be the best one to start with.
It's according to if you want to put any money into it or how much, if you have access to a local library. I would say go to the library if you don't want to put any money into doing the research to start with, and use Ancestry and the Heritage Quest. Both of those two are free at the library, and you can go and sit and just, and there's usually books in the genealogical section. If you find it there on Ancestry, you can go and look at it in the library. So that's the easiest way to get started.
All right, I've got one more question for you. This is from Lynn Rosfeld. Have you found out anything interesting in your family history, Mr. Larry?
I didn't find any horse thieves, but as I was talking with my uncle the other day, I had it in my genealogy about military service that served in our family, and he was telling me about he was buried alive in Korea, and I didn't even have him serving in Korea. I had him in World War II, but he said, yeah, he served on both wars. And during the battle in Korea, a shell exploded next to where he was at, and it covered him over with dirt and buried all three of them alive. And luckily, one of the men in their platoon saw it happen, and they dug them out. And so he said that was the worst experience in his life, being buried alive, and it took him 2 months before he could gain his vision back. So I thought that was very interesting. He's still alive. He's 85. So
wow.
So yeah.
All right, Alicia, she's going to draw our two winners for the DNA kits from Ancestry.com.
All right, so we decided, since to be fair, we had to put every question in here since we had to change the date on y'all. So, all right, Ashley, you want to help me out? All right. All right, so our first one is
Larry Thompson.
All right, I don't know if he's on here, but if not, we'll be reaching out to him.
So that's our first winner. I'm going to have one more. We have Gary Maddox.
Yay! He's
That's
Gary Maddox is on
awesome.
here,
Oh,
Gary.
yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Gary.
We'll get those sent out to you as soon as we can.
All right, well, if we don't have any more questions, we will say sayonara until next time. Though I realize with the delay, I'm going to say that, and then you guys might have a minute here.
Yeah, if we need to in the future, we have a more advanced section on the internet.
Ooh, that would be wonderful. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Just let me know.
Interested in getting more in depth in this, let us know. Mr. Poole is willing to have another small group educational class on it. So just shoot us a message and we'll work that out. Thank you, Mr. Poole.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank y'all. Have a good Friday.
A great weekend.